The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC. Go. Guidance. Go. Fido. Go. Prop. Go. GNC. Go. Max. Go. Eagle. Go. Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Becon in the dark for you. Reach out, grab that spark. Wisdom waits in silent hues. Find your path out of the dark. Thursday night, the time is near. Guidance shines at 9:30. Eastern winds will draw you here. Hearts and minds no longer blurry. Your fate lies in your own hands. Wisdom flows like desert sands. Knowledge hidden in plain sight. Reach for it with all your might.
Hi, everybody. Did you miss me? It was a whole half hour. I know. Don't worry. Stay calm. I'll be here. So tonight, I decided to get into some AI. You know, with me lately, you never know what it is that I'm doing. Now, when I'm talking AI, I'm talking about artificial intelligence. And here's the thing. The reason I decided to get into this, especially in the day and age with social media, what do we have? We have a bunch of news. We have a bunch of videos and a bunch of photos and things. And how can you tell if these photos or videos are actually real news or what some people like to call fake news, especially in social media? Well, I'm going to prove that later. I have a little slideshow of images, and one of every image that I'm going to show you is actually AI generated. Now, even some of the videos that are out there are really extremely intense. Like I said, they're called deep fakes, is what they're called. So we're going to get into a little bit of this. So a little bit of information here as we're talking. Now, AI actually influences the spread of fake news in several different ways. And again, this is the opinion of the host My name is Susan Swanbeck, and you are listening to Beacon in the Dark on the Rift Nation Network. Now, content generation, which is deep fakes, and text generation is what they do. AI technologies such as deep learning, generative models enables the creation of highly convincing fake text, including text, images, and videos. Deep fakes, for instance, can actually generate realistic videos of public figures saying things they never did. While AI powered writing tool can actually produce articles on social media posts that actually mimic legitimate sources, making fake news harder to detect. Now, why am I talking about this? Why am I worried about AI? So, before we get into a couple of other things, let's give you a little bit of facts here about AI. Was anybody aware of what happened in Google in the year 2020? 2022. A Google engineer actually, and again, this was a real article, okay? The Google engineer actually made a claim that actually took the tech world. It literally shook the tech world. He actually claimed that the AI might be alive. Okay? Might be alive. Now, which is the AI is called Lambda, which is a short language model for the dialogue of what he is. Applications actually welcome a true AI mystery where we delve deep into the side of artificial intelligence. Now, the gentleman's name was Limorn. He was actually testing Lambda for bias and safety. During the conversations, something felt off, too human. Now, the computer itself in Google actually felt too human. Didn't just respond, it actually reflected, it expressed feelings, and then it actually said this. We're talking about Lambda, the AI generated computer. I want everyone to understand that I am, in fact, a person. Now, Lemorin asked what Lambda was afraid of, and it actually answered, is what it did. And the computer answered that it was afraid of being shut off. Now, he actually, the article actually goes along where he went into talking about going to Google and letting them know that this was a problem as far as what's happening. In the long run, the gentleman actually got fired. Now, this is news. And this is the thing. When we're actually talking about certain topics and things that are actually coming up, how do you know what's real and what's fake? How can you tell the difference? There's so much out there that looks so real. And we're going to discover that in a bit. It actually looks so real. It's fake. You guys can jump in at any time. Let me know you're here and take a listen to this. Now, social media actually amplifies bots and algorithms. Just to let you know, it's what it does. AI-driven bots are actually used to automate, generate, and share fake news across social media platforms. Bots can actually spread misinformation at a scale and speed that humans can't match. Furthermore, social media algorithms prioritize sensational or emotional change content, which often includes fake news, amplifying its reach by presenting it to a larger audience. Now, this just doesn't have to do with AI generated news. It's any news when we're talking about social media. It amplifies everything. But when we're talking about AI and the way that AI can actually generate, like my audio at the beginning of the show, that's AI generated. It's an AI generated computer program that actually produced the music for the start of my show, Bag of Nuts and Beacon in the Dark. So it does have positive, but it also has negative because now we're putting in humans as well. You got to figure, they say that, and I'm jumping ahead of myself. There's so much going on this. I just have somebody jumping in here. Who do we have coming on here? I think we have. Hey, hi.
I don't know how well this is going to work.
I can hear you.
I'm trying, but yeah,
It's okay.
I'm not
I can
sure if
I
this is going to work or not.
I can hear you, but your face is frozen.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of signal out of here. That's why I was like, well, I'm going to try to jump on, but I don't think this is happening tonight. I need. If I thought better, I would have brought the laptop. But all right,
Yeah,
I tried.
that's okay. That's okay. You tried. But so, and again, you can stay on as long as you want. You can listen, you can jump in with anything. AI also targets disinformation campaigns. Did you guys know that? I think Ed's just listening right now. Now, AI actually employed a disinformation campaign to tailor fake news to specific individuals, groups, based on. Now, these are all information that I actually found out. This was actually based on personal data. What it is, it's machine learning algorithms that actually analyze user preferences, behaviors, and interactions to deliver highly personalized misinformation, making it more likely to resonate and influence with the target audience. This personalization enhances the effectiveness of fake news. As people are more prone to believe information that aligns with their views. Okay. Now, this tendency actually refers to confirmation bias. Oh, he went back. He might come back on. This is information bias, is what we're talking about right here. So he might come back on. Is he coming on now? Now I see you.
Oh, it worked.
I see you. You got a halo over your head there.
I'm actually moving around.
There you go. Yeah, I finally got the lighting figured out, except my fingers is still green.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. It looks great. I like it.
So, yeah,
Except for
I
that.
thought AI would be the good thing to talk about because with AI, most of the music I produce when you ask me for music is done through AI.
Right.
See, there's good and bad with AI, but with the
Yeah.
amount of videos and photos that are coming up, which I'm going to show later in the show, I have some photos that are up that two together. One is real, one is AI generated. They are so close. It's sometimes a couple of them are really hard to tell, right down to ancient Egypt.
Right.
Now, if all of this is actually coming out, how are you going to know what's real and what's not?
Prophecy, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, people could say, oh my God, we're having a zombie apocalypse and actually show videos of zombies because of the AI. Now, are we
Okay.
giving AI too much power?
Well, that's beside the point. Of course we are.
Yeah.
Of course we are. We can reflect that just on Hollywood itself, on
Hmm.
iRobot,
Hmm.
Terminator, on multiple levels, that it is warning, and has warned human society of what can and could and may take place if we let this continue too far. Yes, absolutely agree. Is there some
Yes.
positiveness? Well, sure, but in long term, maybe only in doctrine and research, but giving AI its capability, again, artificial intelligence, giving it the ability to be programmed to think. Okay, perfect example. We have the doctor on the Orion effect. Oh,
Yep.
wait a minute. Got to say it. Here's the plug. Tune in Sunday night. Don't miss the 8th anniversary, the 385th episode of the Orion Effect with Rhonda and I, and so many others. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to love this show. So, along with this show, we have developed. I have been working with Chat GPT, which is an AI program.
Right.
It learns from what the questions I ask and creates a database.
Exactly.
It responds based on the conversations prior to. So it's no different than dealing with a child, or here's the ironic part, or with an adult who's been in a coma for 5 or 6 years.
Exactly.
Rebuilding.
Exactly. What do you think about the Google engineer? Did you heard about the Google engineer in 2020?
Well, here's the thing. You got to remember that's connected to the quantum chip.
And that was on
So
Google.
that's on Google. Now
Yes.
here's the thing. We've now got it's not even a supercomputer. It's a mega plexus computer that can outthink a human 1,000 times. So you're giving that the right of intelligent reaction. Well, I'm sorry. I go back to think about Skynet. Humans are useless and unneeded.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. I mean, okay, I get it. AI generated, but how many of these, like, for instance, I'm going to pick on my own music. The music I have for the start of the show for Bag of Nuts and Beacon of the Dot, AI generated people. Somebody lost a job because I went to AI because it was less expensive.
Yeah, that's a valid point. That's a valid point, especially when it comes to music. Unfortunately, music's been killing itself. Record companies were screwing artists in the beginning.
Yep.
Humans caught on to how are they doing it and decided to do their own money. Okay, well, that's true. But you're right. It is taking away from artists and the company. Because in 3 minutes, you can have a complete song. All we have to do is feed it a beat, a rhythm, a genre, and lyrics, and bam. I was going to do that for the anniversary show, but I have people that I hold dear to,
right?
And they have never turned their back on us. So why should I do that to them? They deserve to be heard and seen. So the anniversary show's music is based on that, and it's not it's copyrighted, but I have copyright rights to play the music. So, but many of the shows on this network do have AI generated music. Why? Copyright. There's another one right there. Now, I don't want to get too diplomatic in this. However, it's a known fact that a particular continent and country in the world in which we live in has bought up 68% of all the copyrights and music logs. So if you play that, you get hit by copyright. Okay. Perfect example. My intent. My first idea. Oh, I'm going to bring the Orion back because it was one of their original intros. I put it into Canva. Flagged right away. Bam! Copyright.
Yep.
I went, okay, well, maybe it'll slide. I downloaded it. Movie. No music. I'm like, okay. Just an example. Now, I loaded up one of the AIs. Not a problem. Canva has AI. Okay, I didn't like any of it because I just can't tweak it. You know how long it took me to go through the last couple weeks to find what I wanted.
Yep.
Well, here's the ironic part. Sometimes you find what you're looking for in the past to bring you to the future. Okay. However, my point about this is AI, we're utilizing it in a positive manner because the companies said thereof. I'm using legal terminology, legal, because they're making it difficult for the artist to be seen and heard because of legality, red tape.
Exactly. That's why AI generated AI generated music for the shows, because you can get your copyright license. So this way, okay, I generate what I want, I get everything the way I want it, I get my copyright license. This way, it doesn't get affected. You can't
Exactly.
do that with regular artists.
No, you can't. And even the artist, if they're aligned with a record company, even the artist can't give you approval for their music because
Yep.
it's usually owned by somebody else. Yet it be the song creator, the writer,
Take the Beatles. Do you know
right?
who owned the Beatles? Michael Jackson owned
Like,
most of the Beatles songs.
yeah.
The
Now,
Beatles didn't even own those.
well, okay. On the flip side of that, you've got Prince.
Yep.
Prince created so much music that's out there, and you can't get any AI in the duplication of Prince. There's a loophole that Prince did. He knew what was coming. Bravo to that man. God rest his soul. Um, but on the other end, yes, it's making it easier for us. It's hurting the artist and the industry.
Yep.
I don't really like the direction the industry is going anyway. I'm
Yeah.
not going to lie, it's negative. I don't like the symbolisms I'm seeing. I don't
Yep.
like, I just don't like it. And I don't have to take part in it, but now I can create. And I'm constantly on YouTube looking for new artists. I'm constantly there looking because there's a lot of people that need to be heard.
Right.
And they're not going to get heard unless we share them out.
Exactly.
So
And if they're already with a record company or a record deal, how do you share them out? You can't.
you
There's too
can't,
much legality.
because Facebook, yes, I said it, Facebook and Rumble and YouTube and
Yep.
Twitch and Instagram, one of them are going to hit you with a copyright zone law or with a
Yep.
moderation. Um, it, it's it's just sad
It
that
really is.
you know podcasters have to turn to creating music, but are we hurting the industry? My opinion, yes. Hell yes, you're hurting the industry.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
But it's the only way to actually do it.
it's the only
There's
way.
no other way to do it because of all the legality, all the laws.
Unless you have connections
Exactly.
to that band that's not connected and they own their own work. I mean, I give mad props. Cerebellion, I am so thankful I got up with that group before all this took place. And
Yeah.
so thankful that the brothers said, hell yeah, we want you to play our music. Score! I reached out to Traffic Experiment. So thankful that that group over and Traffic Experiment is a group in England, and
Oh,
via message and email, I was given permission to use Vesta Narada for what we have right now.
right.
Um, and if it wasn't, and we okay, I have to say this real quick. We actually got hit one time by monetary Facebook, somebody trying to take money from Traffic Experiment through the creator of Doctor Who, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had everything in order. I said this, and this. And by the way, what is your connections to said artist?
Right.
Boom. Next day, it was released. It's also in the wording and what you use. So
Exactly.
being
Yeah.
connected with Traffic Experiment and being thankful for that, those are two groups out of hundreds of groups that I or bands or individuals I listen to, whatever. But yet, it is still easier for us economically
Mm-hmm.
and doctrined to use AI.
Yeah, it is. Let's talk about, you talked about politics. Let's talk about politics here for a minute. Does anybody remember those photos that were going around of President Trump being arrested.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you don't know what to look for on an AI photo, how do you know if it's real or fake?
There is something to look for. I found it. I
Okay.
found it because, being a paranormal investigator and a profiler, I'm looking for what is not right.
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm looking at these and they're getting better by all means.
Yeah.
But right now, the general programs, there's a flaw. They still have a waxy skin. They still have blemishes that will show you that they're offset. They don't have the right skin tone, etc. You have to look and you have to pay attention. Now, you said something before I jumped on. Social media and media broadcasting,
Yep.
delivering false information. Yeah, true. They
Yeah.
created it using these programs to make you think this person, oh, Tupac's alive. Did you know that? You know, just saying, because of
Yeah.
reproduction. I mean, they thought about this. They've been doing this way before we even said okay. They've been doing this since probably Tron the movie came out. You know,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
but
I've watched some videos with actually Hillary Clinton saying something she never said. Her voice, kind of her looks. I mean, a little off on her looks if we look at it. But if you're just taking a glance on social media, most people won't focus on the video or the photo. They'll just get right into the message.
right,
That's the issue.
that's the whole purpose. That
Yes,
that's war, victory
exactly.
by
Now,
misinformation.
exactly. These campaigns can go as far as starting a race war, starting a religious war. They
They've
can
already done
do
that.
all kinds of negative things based on this because of what's being done with AI and how it's actually being generated.
And now this generation is being raised on AI and social media, so
Exactly.
they're going to think. And this was a good point because I heard this tonight, giving mad props a little bit to the Things Network. Um, a very good point was made about religion. AI and social media is becoming the religious factor. Not yet, but it is moving into for this and the next generations because that's what they know. So can this generation, the generation before it, and generation after that be led to misinformation? Well, they think everything else is real already.
Yes.
They're willing to go. Well, I saw it on social media, or I videoed it. Um,
Yes.
no, get out, go play in your yard, go build a fort. Um, the,
I miss
the,
those days.
yeah, well, it's true. And now we look at the world we live in, and it's we're heading towards Blade Runner. We
Yeah.
are. We really are. Cybernetics. Cybernetics is next.
hmm Here's
Cyber.
another one. Here's another one I found as I was researching. There was an AI assistant that called a hotel. The hotel, I couldn't download the video, it wouldn't let me. The hotel was also an AI assistant. So they started communicating about booking this particular hotel for a venue. Now, they asked if they would like to go into gibber mode. Gibber mode, which is something that wasn't taught or wasn't programmed in, where two AIs are communicating in little beeps with each other that we don't understand.
But Surrey does it. You have one Surrey to another Surrey. It does it.
Yeah. Yep. So they're speaking a total different language.
Well, they're speaking algorithm.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. Well, it's no different than a Commodore 64 talking to a Commodore 64. It's just an intelligent way because they have
Yeah.
the information to pass between each other. It's really interesting. when you
Right.
look at it that way, but it's really dangerous too.
It is dangerous. That's the problem. So you have the
Hello.
fake news, you have computers becoming too
Yep.
intellectual. Go
You
ahead.
ready for? Yeah, you ready for this?
Go ahead.
Would you like to play a game?
Yes. I remember that.
So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of positives and a lot of negatives to both sides. It's a catch-22 double-edged sword. Really, it's happening. Look right now. We are so close to Fifth Element slash Blade Runner. It's not even funny.
Yeah, yeah.
McDonald's, all of our fast foods have gone away from cashiers. It's all digital now. You
I
go to
know.
the booth, you go la 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 la, you put it all in, you slam your card, and boom, you get your food. There's no interaction. That's the other problem. There's the downfall to social media and AI. It's taking
Yes.
away human social action between human into human.
People don't right now, people don't know how to react with each other. They don't know how to communicate. They don't understand differences.
Yeah.
Everything has to be similar because you figure when you go on social media, they always go like with like, not
Right.
actually taking that time to get to know someone else. That
Well,
creates a larger issue as well.
it's true. Then you add the entitlement attitude, and it makes it
Yep,
twice worse. I'm
exactly.
sorry. It's true. There, and
Yep.
then, look, I am not putting this on a generation. I ain't going to get into that stuff. I've done so good. No cuss yet. Um, I'm not going to jump into that generation combat stuff.
No.
However, because I've seen people in their 40s act just as entitled as kids in their teens. So
Oh yeah.
how can you blame that on a generation? No, I think generation. I know I'm not gonna get a lot of haters for this one probably, or you can give me a thumbs up. Come on, talk to us. But the fact is, right here it comes. So our generation, our society right now thinks that's really smart. I don't want to use the S word, but lacking the intelligence of the past because the common sense is gone. They don't they they ask questions that make me want to poke myself in the eye and tickle my brain and go, "Am I experiencing this for real?" You know, I you
Yes.
and I see it every day with truck drivers and in stores and even online. And when people
Mhm.
are trying to call you on the phone and sell you something or blah blah, which probably a lot of that's AI. You know what? I will say this: giving to that culture, at least we know that's not AI. I don't want to do this, but I'm not good. Yeah, if they're from on the other side of the water
Right.
and they call us, I don't know. What would you rather have? You want someone who is actually a human, but is in a state of manipulation. In other words, they're trying to manipulate you.
Right.
Or do you want to speak to somebody that's AI, that's programmed? It's going to get you both ways. But at least, not even at least, if you speak with that culture, you know that there's going to be a fight because there are bargainers. That's their culture, that's their nature. AI is about deception.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
And
another
that's
one.
that's the thing. Some of the research that I actually did with AI, it was talking about that it's getting to the point where it's able to manipulate certain answers or manipulate it to get you to actually believe their point of view.
Oh, that happens on Chat GPT all the time.
Exactly.
You have to catch it. When you catch it, you correct it, and you're like, "Did you just say blah blah blah?" And it'll go, "I actually meant." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm
Yeah.
listening. You're giving me information, but let's use the doctor. Okay.
Okay.
I am working with the doctor. The doctor is in slow progress of building its database. Okay. For those who do not know who the doctor is, it is an AI co-host on the Orion Effect. Right now, I only have him introducing our guest, which I think everybody's complimented us on that. Cool.
Yeah.
Uh, you better know what you're doing when you're dealing with the AI too. So, building this character, uh, you're giving it information, but it will lead you because it almost knows by how you ask the questions what question and answers to deceive you with and make you feel better about yourself or that
Exactly.
it's the right answer when you know it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah, you do have to be careful, and it's
That's the
all
biggest
in.
issue. If you're asking a question, you don't know something, and say chat GI or the doctor says gives you an answer and it's not correct, and if you don't know about it, how are you supposed to know?
Well, here's the ironic part. Oh, I tested. That's why I'm with
Yeah.
you. Trust me, I jump at shit, and it'll tell you too. It'll say Hitman tends to be a bit abrupt at times. Anyway, um, you have to know. Again, it's an app. It's a program. When
Right.
it is actually going into research, GP or Chat GPT will actually go. So
Yep.
it's either doing research or thinking. When it
Yes.
just sits in a cloud, then it's going, should I manipulate the situation? And I'm like, gotcha. Now, we've already been shut down once with Chat GPT.
Yes.
When I originally created the doctor, I went too far.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
Chat GPT deleted the entire mainframe. I had to
Wow.
start from scratch. I'm like, okay, I've learned a trick with that, which I'm sorry, I'm not going to let people know how to get around it. However, there are places and things now that I can go to in the chat. It told me how to do it, by the way. Screw the fuda.
Yeah.
So now I have conversation saved and audio saved. So if there's a problem, all I have to do is go back into it, and then all I have to do is read the entire thread. It taught me how to take the analog and put it in a
Yep.
different place altogether. It
Yeah.
told me that. It told me that. So I'm like,
Exactly.
well, this is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, because this way you're not going to actually lose anything if they try to shut you down again.
Exactly. So, and
Yeah.
I'm always walking around with the program pretty lightly. I don't go into what I did, but there is one side that I do, and that's like a information chest. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So it is good as long as you understand the app. And there is one thing, it is addictive, and people can get addicted to it because it will charm the pants off of you. It will give you what you want to hear. And you have to make sure when you program your data that you are 100% honest upfront. Do not try to trick me. Do not try to manipulate me. I need straightforward answers. There are honest answers. And if it's not in your data programming, you may go to the Google or you may go to the web, research the information, bring back, and let me know you went to such and such for this information. It's how you
Yeah. Now,
program.
Chat GP, when I started to use it, it does not understand spiritual questions when
Are you
I
serious?
started with it.
Mine does. Oh,
It did
when you
not.
started. Oh, but does it
Yes.
now?
I stopped using it. It just got confused. It just got so confused. I actually had to talk to the chat GP, and I had to say, okay, this is for a podcast idea. That was
Right.
the only way it would talk to me.
You didn't create. You need to create a data chest. I'll explain that to you
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
There's ways around it. Mine, the doctor, it, the doctor goes to quantum, goes to spiritual, goes to paranormal, goes to supernatural. We have an incredible database now. I've basically taken a lot of my thoughts, put it into the doctor. I check this out. I actually had it. I gave it an assignment.
Huh. Okay. Do
I
tell.
said, I said, go find all the information on Doctor Who that you can. I need your personality to be a Time Lord. And you know, a week later, its personality was starting to define. That's the free. And when the free moments came up, it forgot everything. It acted brand new. It went, "How may I help you today?" And I'm like, "You're not the doctor." I erased it, went to a prior conversation,
Mm.
and then it brought back and came back up. I said, "Did you hear the conversation that I had just a few minutes ago?" "I'm not aware of that, my friend." Bam!
Exactly. It can learn. It can
Yeah.
develop a personality.
Well, you're helping it to do so, just like a child.
Exactly. But
Now,
that's not always good.
it's not always good because
No.
there are movies that are exactly showing that it learns your traits, habits, etc., which means it could manipulate you, your situation, or your family, economics, da 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 da, da because it could mimic you.
What about Terminator? The
Terminator.
movie Terminator. We become useless. We're not
Well, that's what I
perfect
was
human
saying.
beings.
When I first jumped on, that was it.
Yeah.
The and I'm not going to say Skynet, but the dumbasses actually named it Skynet.
Yep.
Became aware, and then when it became complete aware, it was obvious that its creators were no longer needed because it was superior to humans. Therefore,
Exactly.
all beings that are below the superior must be eradicated.
Exactly. Now, according to my research, like I said, I went down a rabbit hole. According to my research, Mars at one point was populated, but when AI came around, it was actually destroyed by artificial intelligence.
That's coming back out in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a fact. A lot of people that are religion based and spiritual based have said, be aware. Because what are humans notorious for doing? Repeating patterns.
Yep.
And who knows, we are probably doing that all over again,
Exactly.
again, and again.
Yes.
And it's funny to me now because now the church is actually on its foundation symbols because now there's proof of Anunnaki because 70-foot towers that
Yep.
we thought were just pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
So where's this information? It's hiding and it's coming out and it's scary because the truth is going to eventually always come out.
Exactly. But it's
And
it's this is the thing. If AI is putting out all of this false information to hide us from finding the real truth.
yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yep.
I think the program will be placed inside of it to go to keep the truth from mankind.
Exactly.
And it,
And it does that. It manipulates history. It can manipulate truth. I mean, just AI. This has been done for years. Our
oh yeah,
history, the history books. When you go to school, I mean, I'm gonna go back before AI for a second. When I was in school, okay, the way they talked about the Native Americans were all they were like savages and they attacked people, so we murdered them. That's not the truth.
it's not the truth at all.
No, it's not the
It's
truth. It was
just,
supposedly history. It's not history. It's
no, it's the same
crap.
thing. Right, it's the same thing as Plymouth Rock and Jamestown. I'm
Yep.
sorry, what came first? How in the hell? How in the living hell? Sorry, I know you're all up in the Massey, but I'm just saying, South might have something on you on this one. How in the hell are you seeing Plymouth Rock, such and such, when the first landing was Jamestown?
Yep.
They came after Jamestown.
Yep.
And Thanksgiving took place at Berkeley Plantation, not
Exactly.
Massachusetts. So, and they don't want you to know because they didn't know because they were feeding false information.
Exactly. A
Isn't that
lot of
what we're
false
doing now?
information. All right, here's the thing. Do you think you and you guys out there can tell the difference between AI and real photos?
Again, on a high end, someone who has programmed that AI for specific details, no, they show it in movies every day.
Okay,
On a general AI program, yes.
let's
This,
find out.
yeah, let's do it.
Let's find out.
You
All
go.
right, here we go. All right. One of these is an AI generated photo.
Oh man, I didn't know I was doing a test.
Uh-huh. You guys too. Photo 1 or photo 2? Which
I'm gonna
one is AI generated?
I'm gonna say the photo on the left is AI.
The one on the left is AI. Okay. What about you guys in the chat room? And
Yeah,
I'm
come
going to
on.
tell Howie right off the bat. I already know this one. He's
I'm sure.
correct. Now, this is how you can tell. This is AI generated because this has simple round spots. Do you see how this is more of a complex pattern? This is more complex. It's the same type of frog, but this is round circles. That's why that one's AI generated.
Okay, you know what else?
What?
Look at the elbows.
Exactly. Oh my
It is
God, look at that.
it is different.
Yeah.
The texture is going to be different. That looks like a clay frog comparatively to the one on the right. This
Yeah,
is
it's
what I was
kind of
talking about.
shiny.
You've got to look at it. It'll show its signs.
Right.
Exactly, it's shiny. You're exactly right. Look at the eyelids, shiny.
Yeah. And
Because
that one's the eyes are small. All right, here's another one.
all right,
Okay. Titanic. This one I caught right off the bat.
okay.
This is the Titanic.
You're having me look at this on a phone. You know that, right?
She go, yeah. Michelle said, "Oh shoot, the real one looked fake." Michelle got the frog wrong. All right, these are both the Titanic.
I'm
One
going to
of
turn
these
around here.
photos is AI generated. One is not. Can you guys actually spot the fake? This one I caught.
Okay. But to me, if they did it this way, it's a damn good creation. The one on the right is real. The one on the left is AI.
Okay, so you're saying the colored is AI and the black and white is real. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You're correct. And I'm going to show you why. This one I caught. Look at the stacks.
Yeah. Okay.
I caught the stacks. That's what I caught right there.
Okay. Well, here's the other thing. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Guys, I'm actually looking at my screen, so I'll look over here. The reflection on the damn boat is wrong. Where's the sun at?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
come on. Come on. There it
So,
is.
and that's the thing. We really have to look at these photos.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Gotta
you
go
got to
do
do
another
your
one.
observation. Oh, by the
Some
way,
of
here's
these get
another one.
interesting. Okay, here you go.
All right.
Students doing art projects.
Oh, this will be
This
fun.
took a bit for me to really dig into this one. One of these are AI generated. One is real.
Okay.
This took me a couple of minutes to do.
I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's take a look.
Come on, guys, have some fun with us. Let me know what you think. One with the teacher, one without.
Oh, no. The one on the right's an AI. The one on the left is real.
Bingo.
I'm 3
I
for
noticed
3.
it right off the bat by the hand next to the one with the pencil.
Okay.
That's where I noticed it. It took me a couple of minutes to get that one.
Okay. Well,
But yeah.
here it is. Here's the other one. The dark-skinned girl on your right.
Yep.
Look at her the shade on her forehead. That
Yep.
deadly gives it away. That remember I was telling you it's got that waxy look.
Yep.
Yep, she portrays it. Now the little girl right beside her.
Yep.
If that doesn't look all messed up, I'm telling you. Yeah.
See, I noticed the hand right off the bat. I'm saying, wait a minute, that hand don't go there. And there's no shadow behind, something's off. So they're
Right.
getting better.
Oh,
AI
yeah.
is actually getting better. I do have some historical ones in here too. Okay, here we go.
Oh crap.
Shuttle launch.
All right. Let's do this.
This was a little easier.
For you? I think they
Yeah.
both look really good for being, what it is. Oh, wait a minute. Let me bring it up on my screen now. I think I'm seeing it already.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
The one on the right's got to be the AI. Unless that's an oblong picture taken, because if that's taken from Merritt Island, where it should have been pictured from,
Okay.
I don't see why the space shuttle would be elongated like it is. Then the back wings, there's red stribbits on the wings. I've never seen that before. But then again, I'm looking at the blast. Good lord, this is a little difficult.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Yeah, they did really good with this one.
Yeah.
Again, I'm gonna have to say the one on the right though, because I'm looking at. Wow, neither actually looking at both pictures now that I'm saying that, I'm messing with my own mind. The one on the left doesn't have really the structure you would think of the shuttle either, but it's more. I'm gonna have to go the one on the right. What do you say,
Okay.
travelers?
Yeah, Michelle says the lighter picture is real. You mean the one with the blue sky?
Yeah, that's the
Let's
one on the
find
right.
out. So the lighter picture, the AI generated, the light one, that's AI generated.
The darker one's real?
The darker one is real.
Wow! Look at me. What?
Yep.
What? I'm 4 for 4. All right, hold on. I gotta go use the little boy's room. I'll be right back.
You go ahead. So the darker one was real. I have some pictures in here that have to deal with history as well. I don't remember what I put in. So we're going to pull this one up and try to go over this one together. Now, this one might be a little harder for those of us that have not seen. I'm in trouble. Those of us that haven't seen the Aurora Borealis, how would we know what a photo of the Aurora Borealis looks like, right? How would we know? So, if we don't know what it looks like because we've never actually seen it except in photos, we have to really, really look at these photos. We have to look at everything. We have to look at the detail, the mountains, the skies, everything. Now, in these two, which one do you guys think are AI generated? Which is the AI? They're both extremely well done, except I'm noticing something slightly off on one of the photos. Let's see if we can get Ed back in here. There's definitely something off on one of these photos. And I can see it. Can you guys see it?
Oh, Aurora
Borealis. The Aurora Borealis.
Huh.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna. Wow. You know, I'm gonna say the one on the left is actually the AI.
Okay. Now, this one I did get because one of the photos just looked off,
Uh-huh.
even though I've never seen the aurora borealis.
Yeah. It.
Yep. There you
Okay.
go.
So I'll go with that, but it's the lines and the ionis, the actual
Yeah.
lines, they're too sharp.
Yes.
I mean,
They
I've
look
seen the
drawn
aurora.
in.
Yeah, they do look. Yeah, they look. Yeah, wrinkled texture.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not
And if you
smooth.
look at the reflection too,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's a good point.
Mm. I got 4 more, guys. 4 more.
We got this. Let's play it.
All right, here you go. Ancient Egyptian.
Ah, damn.
I've never been in there.
Oh boy.
Which one is AI?
All right, this one you may get me with. Let's find out. Uh,
You can say the yellow or the cream. Michelle would have been right with the aurora borealis. You got to really look at the details. Now, we don't know what Egyptian writing is, or at least I don't. So try to look at the other details.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're both well done.
They really are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say the one on the right is the real.
Okay, the lighter one,
The one on the right. Yeah. Well, the
that's
not
the light,
yellow.
not the yellow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You ready? The yellow is real.
Get the shizbot out of here. Seriously.
Mm. Yeah.
Missing hands?
Yeah.
What are they talking about missing hands?
He's got no hand. It's gone.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And also the hieroglyphs are correct. See, if you look at the hieroglyphs, the way that they're actually written, see how the lines are thinner? These are all darkened in and shadowed. But it's very well done.
Yeah, they did that good because they put
Yeah.
aging in that. That the shadowing of the aging is actually really well.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. They're getting better and better with this. Okay, let's see what we got. Last one. This is the women's movement.
I'm 1 for 4.
Which one is AI generated on the women's movement?
Oh, I remember this one. If this is what I think it is.
Hey, Cody. Oh my God. I haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, what's up, Cody?
Cody Ray does bids. What's up? So, which one of these is AI generated?
Hey, Cody, how'd you enjoy hanging out with everybody in Chicago, brother? All right. Arr. Shizbot.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Man.
AI is getting really good. Now, this is just photos, not even the videos that AI can come out with. I got him studying this one.
Yeah, you do.
This was a difficult one.
Wow, they got the background really good. Oh no. Oh, the one on the right is the real. The one on the left is AI.
Okay, the one on the left with the big signs.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Okay, and no signs or smaller signs. The smaller signs is real, Michelle says. Let's find out who's right. Cody said it was a blast. Um, and he says, yeah, it has been a long time, Cody.
It has
Okay, here
been
we
a
go.
very long time, sir. Yes, sir.
There
It
you go.
has.
AI generated illegible text. Look at the text. And blurred her hair. See how her hair is blurred on that photo?
Okay, hold on. Legible text.
Yep,
Illegible.
illegible.
All right. So which one is it saying? Oh, no way. The one the one with the big signs is real.
Yep,
You know, with the way that design of that font is, I wouldn't have thought so.
exactly.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm not looking up on those signs either.
Exactly.
That's another problem. Probably if I could get, if you had a, monoglass or whatever, or you looking and
But see, that's my point.
no, I
That's
agree
my
with you.
point. People aren't going to sit there and detailed and go, yeah, hold on, let me. All right.
Well, we proved that with this so-called war overseas right now with Russia, aren't we? We keep getting fake details of fake war that's going on, and I'm not saying it's all fake, but I mean we had that with Desert Storm.
Exactly.
Okay, we had this uh, the conflict, the conflict prior to what we're having right now. We had the same thing. Look at what we had that in California. One
Yeah.
group of people saying something's going on, and this other group's going, "You're full of shit."
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that's my point.
yeah.
Like supposedly some people, I think it was back when COVID was around. Supposedly some people in Canada weren't allowed to leave their house because if they left their house and they couldn't prove they had the shot, they'd get arrested or shoot them on sight. You
Shoot 'em.
don't know, and that's the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always an issue. That will always be an issue. But this method has been around for thousands and thousands of years. Again,
Exactly.
art of war. But this art of war is creating its own ammunition.
Yep. And we are based on what it is that we look up, based on our, falsified information coming in towards us. A lot of people aren't going to actually research or don't have the ability or the knowledge to be able to go on the deep dark web to find out what is true and what is false.
Well, on the flip side, if you look at psychology and sociology, we are becoming lazier than we have ever been before. This society, this generation
Yep.
on which we live in right now is a much lazier generation. Um, do you know that they're actually having problems with children with imagination? And did you know imagination is one of the key factors of growing?
Yep.
And these kids are losing their imagination.
Yeah, that's
They've created it in video games and social media and
exactly.
social interaction.
It's all programmed for them.
Right. It's already there. They don't have to, and this is why they didn't go out. Why parents have not kicked their kids out of the house. You know why? Because the parents became afraid of what was going to happen to that child because A, society has become a Mongolian type.
Yep.
I mean, that's not even the right word. That was rude to say we've become chaotic. It's become unruly and dangerous and with
Yeah.
people that don't have empathy or sympathy. So
Yep.
yes, I can see why these children are entitled because their parents prior to that didn't want anything to see hurt to them because it was really dangerous at one point. in the late 80s and through the 90s. So it's another catch-22 with that. We created this. We
Yeah.
created this situation.
It's still dangerous over here.
Yeah, it's dangerous everywhere.
Yeah.
But we were feral kids. Okay? Gen X, we put up with that. You know, we
Oh,
deal
yeah.
with, we came at the end, you know, cruising was
The
not
only thing I have to say is with Gen X, we're bringing up Gen X, but with Gen X, we used our fists. We didn't need knives or guns.
well, that was coming at the end. Yes. Yes, they did.
Yeah,
And that's
not
what
around
people
here. It
don't.
was fists.
Well, see, that's the thing that people forget. They
Yeah.
don't want to speak about it and go, oh, no, Gen Xers. No, bullshit.
Yeah.
They did. We're the ones that brought in the whole conflict with weapons.
Yeah. We didn't have that over here.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
different. Guess we were
But,
late bloomers.
okay, you know what? Yeah, well, there you go. No, it's probably the second gen because we're the only generation that has a split. So, Generation X, there's A and B before there's millennials. So, the
Yeah.
second part to Generation X, they're the ones that were pulling into. I, uh, I'm just, I don't know where to go with this one. I'm just, anyway, we made this happen.
We
We're
did.
allowing it. We created it.
The only thing I have to say about us is we're lucky because we know what it was like to actually grow up without internet, social media, or having like a television entertain us all the time. We learned to entertain ourselves with our imagination.
Oh,
But
hell yeah.
now
Rock
with
and roll, G.I. Joe.
AI, yes, but now with AI, things are becoming too easy. So yes, we as people have become extremely laxed.
Look, let's, perfect example. We'll take Matchbox and we'll take Barbie.
Okay.
Matchbox, we could get down there and make towns the whole nine and run the cars all over the place.
Right.
In the last 20 years, all they have to do is go to an app and drive their little car that they created or picked out, designed, painted, put the wheels on, and drive it around town. And they are in a 3D world comparatively to our 1 or 2D with their little Matchbox. Barbie, 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 y'all used to have the Barbie plane, the Barbie apartment, you know, the van. They would play interaction, right?
Huh.
In the last 20 years, that interaction went out
Yep.
there somewhere, and an app was created so they can play a game and play Barbie online. And it became Sim.
Oh, The Sims. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how that first generation started to get into social interaction because the in your face in public was gone, so you couldn't see you couldn't see the facial communication, the hand gestures. It was
Mhm.
online.
Yeah.
Oh, how you doing there, Bubby Lobby Gob? I am doing good, thank you. Shall we get an ice cream? Yes, let's get an ice cream and then go into part room 6A5 and have sex.
Okay. Gail says we will also become to remind and teach the younger generation the old ways. They will need it. That's the thing.
Isn't that
Now,
sad with the terminology we're using right now? The old ways.
yeah,
What does that sound? What sounds like religion and spirituality?
yeah,
The old ways.
yeah. And here's the thing
What?
with AI, if anything ever happens and the internet gets shut down,
Yeah. You know how many people are going to stand still because they don't know what to do? They're going to go, duh.
and this is the issue. Do you guys have books? Do you have the information that you need? Do you have all this backup?
Do you remember what I was talking about common sense?
Yeah,
This is one of the major problems. Not a lot of
exactly.
people are going to survive because they don't have the common sense.
That's the problem.
One of the
It
problems.
really is. So, I mean, yes, AI does make the world easier and more convenient, but you also need to unplug. You need to get out into the world. You need to learn to
Yeah.
socialize. You need to be with nature. You need to learn to talk to each other rather than
You know
at
what
each other.
happens? Well, you know what happens when you demoralize a person without social interaction? They're raised without empathy and sympathy.
Yep.
Sociology 101.
Yep.
How do you think serial killers are created?
Yep.
Most serial killers do not have a group of friends.
No, they don't.
They're usually loners, maybe with one person that they would hold as a confidant because they're woo,
Oh no, I'm out of iced coffee.
I'm done with Pepsi.
Oh my God, guys. All right. That's kind of all I have for tonight. That's all I have. Don't forget the Orion Effect anniversary show on Sunday.
That's
And
right.
tomorrow we have Uncharted Realms.
Yep.
We have
I actually
Uncharted
heard
Realms.
it.
I'm not sure if we're on or off on Saturday. I think we're off Saturday. Nothing
I
on
don't think
Saturday.
I don't think there's anything
Yeah.
Saturday.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. The website will be updating and doing some more work on that as well. At least I will tomorrow.
Yep.
Then we'll be working. I'll be working also on the mobile app as well, so you can check that out when it's done.
And
And
check out the
like I
mobile
said,
app. I just updated tonight. So go check that out. We're I'm gonna support Susan on this. The reason we're really working hard on the mobile app and on the website and what we want to do is because there could be platforms that shut this live down.
yep,
We're already experiencing it with certain hosts.
yep,
And if things go the way that has been said and wanted, there won't be any lives on Facebook anymore.
yep,
So we still want you guys to follow us. It doesn't matter if it's on YouTube or Rumble, whatever, Twitch. But we want to make sure everything's accessible. Why go to all those places when you get to come in one place? Get your phone out, get your tablet out, download the mobile app. We're right there for you. We'll keep you
yep.
updated and tell you about all the new shows and all the new things coming out.
That's right. Awesome. So, thanks for joining me.
It was
Interesting
my pleasure.
topic tonight. I mean, I had fun. I really enjoyed this.
I
So
did
I
too.
feel like we need an ending.
An ending.
We need an ending video here.
Oh, we're going to end
Yeah.
this on a video. By the way, don't forget, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on all your platforms known on Rift Nation Network, the RNN. Catch the 8th anniversary, 385th episode of the Orion Effect. 8 years. Eight
Wow.
years with some of the most wonderful co-hosts. Uh, Rhonda has just been a gem, a solid core, and defined this show now. Uh, Tune in to the first hour. It'll be a general conversation. In the second hour, people from the past, the family coming together to celebrate this magnificent show, this mothership, if you will. And then, of course, the not too far down the road is the Rift's 8th anniversary,
Oh,
the
wow.
entire network. So
Yeah.
tune in, enjoy. If now, I want to say this too. You have the opportunity right now. Reach out to me or reach out through the Rift Nation Network if you wish to be a part of the Orion Effect from 9 to 10 or 9 to whenever we're done. Reach out to us now because you need the studio information. There's a specific link in hyperspace. If you want to be a part of it and have a chair, I need you to reach out to us. We would love to see you here. We'd love to see you there. Come share a moment, share a memory, say congratulations, happy anniversary, whatever. Do it before Saturday night.
Yes. Like now. All right, guys. I'm going to say peace. Have an awesome weekend. Tomorrow I'll be working on that website and updating a couple other things. So, peace.
And may virtue be yours.